Hi guys, this is Hamilcar with Game 3 between KTF and Samsung Khan. And this game is going to be between two very good players, Luxury for KTF and Jangbi for Samsung Khan, and it's going to be on the map Destination. Jangbi has had a good run so far this set. The way Winners League works, if you win, you keep playing, and Jangbi played the first game and won, and played the second game and won, so he's still playing now in the third game. And he's taken down two of KTF's lesser Zerg players, 815 and Hoja, and now he's up against their best Zerg player, Luxury. So we'll see whether he is able to continue this PvZ run he's been having, or whether Luxury can avenge his teammates' defeat. At any rate, well, let's see. Jangbi, one of the very best players in Pro League and the individual leagues anywhere right now, and he's been bullying Samsung Khan probably at least as much as Storkaz or Firebat Hero, who both have been doing very well also so far this season. Luxury was one of the top 2 or 3 Zerg players a few months ago, maybe as much as a year ago, but fell off a little bit in the last few months. What's interesting about Luxury, and I think I said this in an earlier game of his that I commentated, but Luxury is a twin brother, Yellow Arnak or Yarnak or whatever you want to call him. And for a long time, Luxury was significantly the better of the two, and he always outperformed Yarnak where it counted, and I think typically beat him when they played each other too. And then, now, in the last few months, the tables have sort of turned, and Yarnak is doing really well, and Luxury is sort of slumping, so I guess it's just the way StarCraft works. Players are up and down, and it doesn't matter if they have the same genetic code. It doesn't mean that their ups and downs are going to coincide. But, at any rate, Luxury is still a force to be reckoned with, still a good Zerg player, and one of the best players that KTF has to offer. On the other hand, if he loses this game, KTF will send out, I assume, the best player they have to offer, which is Flash. At the very least, if Flash is in their lineup at all, he's got to come out next game because they'll be down 0-3, and it'll be the last of their 4 players that they can send out in a Winners League set. So, if that happens, then we get to see Jangbi versus Flash, and that would be a very, very exciting game. Both players extremely good at that at those respective matchups. Jangbi, absolute beast versus Terran, and Flash is similarly beastly versus Protoss. If you haven't seen the series between him and Beastu it was one of the GOM TV Classic something like that, commentated by Tasteless on the GOM TV website. It's very well worth watching. Back and forth games, good play from both players. But in any event, well, that's all. That all remains to be seen, because if Luxury wins this game, then he'll keep playing. So, at any rate, this is on the map Destination, and I really like this map. I've enjoyed most of the games that I've seen on it. 2 spawn locations at the top and bottom, and a lot of bridges in the middle, some routes around the edges, room for flanking and for surprise attacks and coming in from weird angles. Also, lots of room for big grinded out pushes across the bridges in the middle, and plenty of room for cheese too. We've seen lots of cheese on this map. So, a very versatile map, and relatively balanced. Probably a little bit Protoss favored on the whole, but as I've said before, I like Protoss, so I guess I like Protoss favored maps. I suppose the argument could be made that playing the easy race doesn't need to be made any easier, but nonetheless, I will continue to defend maps that do it. We're just seeing the second hatchery going down now for Luxury. It went for 9 pool originally, but it just had these Zerglings chasing around the scouting probe. I'm still not a big fan of that approach from Zerg players. It does put some pressure on the Protoss and force them to go for the early cannons, but at the same time, there's no need to produce all 6 Zerglings. If all you're going to do is chase the probe around, 2 Zerglings can do that. You put down some drones at the same time. I guess you can't do it quite simultaneously, so if the other player's on the ball, they'll see the difference in timing and infer that there's only some Zerglings coming out. But I don't really get what those extra 4 Zerglings do for you, unless it's all just sort of security, securing the bluff to make sure that the Protoss player does put down the extra cannons. Now there's some Lings here at the bridge. They may try for a run-by. I think the front door is pretty well blocked off with those 3 probes and a 3rd cannon coming in too. So I don't think a run-by will be successful. And the Nexus is about to warp in. So I'm not sure. I think, I mean, not a big deal either way. Certainly put a little bit of pressure on Jangbi and forced him to pull those probes early in the game and so forth. But, well, now Luxury is putting down a 3rd base. So one of the advantages of getting those early Lings out is that you are able to claim map control in the early game and get that 3rd base down relatively easily. Of course, you could do the same thing if you just built the Lings a minute or so later. But in any event, Luxury knows better than I do. Tech build going down for Jangbi now. Stargate coming out. We'll see whether he goes Reavers or Templar Tech thereafter. Or maybe just goes for something like a +1 speed lot rush. I've seen a couple of those on this map, and it can be reasonably effective if you catch the player off guard, going for something like Hydras or what have you. Spire's going down now for Luxury, off a relatively early lair, so he may actually go for Mutas. I'm not sure if... I don't think Jangbi scouted out the lair tech, so he could be caught off guard by a 3-hash Muta build, and you can see Luxury denying the scout there. So it'll be a while before Jangbi will know it's coming. Once that Corsair comes out, he can go and do some scouting, and he'll see the Spire, but even so, the Spire will be most of the way up by then. Meanwhile, that 3rd base is now up and running, so Luxury's in a very good position economically. And we still haven't seen a Hydralisk down, I don't think. Maybe we have and I missed it. If there is no Hydralisk down, then that definitely indicates at this point that he's going for Mutas. Another hatchery there, another... Well, 5 hatcheries, so maybe there is a Hydralisk den somewhere. Well, at any rate, we'll see fairly soon. There's a little panda bear dude in the middle of the map. And something is going down there for Luxury. We just missed it, but Evolution Chamber and Hydralisk down. So it is going to be Hydralisks actually. A little bit late putting that den down. I guess it doesn't matter too much. If he, depending on how he times it, he can. He just needs to make sure that he has both the Hydralisk upgrades down by the time he needs to push. Meanwhile, Corsairs, one Corsair out in the field, and another Corsair out coming out soon, and it is Templar Tech for Jangbi. And Jangbi notorious for the quality of his Psy Storms, so if 5-hash Hydra push is coming, Jangbi better hope that he has his Templar and his Storms out by the time he gets there, because that's probably going to be his salvation in that sort of situation. 3 Corsairs out, that's not enough to take down those Scourge, so a little bit risky setting them out there. But he's trying to screen for the DT. There's going to be some DT harassment coming in, but 2 Corsairs going down, and that's, even if he manages to take down that Overlord, I'm not sure if that's a good trade. He will take down the Overlord, but the drones are already running, so he only gets 1 drone, and 1 drone at the cost of 2 Corsairs is not a very good investment, even with this denied mining time. If he takes down that hatchery, though, that could be a game changer, because that'll put him in decently significant economic lead. Oh, good move there with that egg, disrupting one of the DTs for a second. We'll see. It's going to be very, very close. Those DTs are maneuvering over to the other side where they can't be seen, but I think they are going to take down the hatchery. Yup, the hatchery goes down. So Luxury looking a little bit chagrined there. Not out of the game, but oh wow, a bunch of Mutas out now. So went for the Hydra Den, went for the Evolution Chamber, but still is going to build some Mutas. And coming in. I guess just response to the tech route that Jangbi went. A lot of gateways now down for Jangbi. And he's morphed his Templar into Archons, which Archons are good at fighting Mutalisks, except on constricted ground like this, they're not especially good, given that the Archons can't really get back there and don't have enough range to fire over those ridges, so the Mutas can just maneuver back and forth and avoid them. Still that third hatchery, well, just being replaced now. So Luxury is going to reach economic parity again as soon as he gets that base up. These Mutas are flying around but not doing a whole lot of damage. Getting a couple hits on those Corsairs. Well, just skirmishing here. Neither player doing decisive damage.